Look around your kitchen right now. That bar of chocolate on the counter, that jar of Nescafe you drink every morning, that Pure Life bottle you think is safe, that baby formula you trust for your child. All of it belongs to one empire, Nestle, the biggest food and beverage company on the planet. From the moment you're born to the day you grow old, Nestle is there. It feels familiar, friendly, harmless. But what if I told you that behind this friendly face lies one of the darkest corporate histories ever written, built on the deaths of infants, the theft of water, and the slavery of children? This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is documented history. This is Azzi Prism, and this is the real horrifying story of Nestle. Our story begins in the 1970s in the developing nations of Africa, South America, and Asia. Nestle had a product, baby formula, and they needed a new market. Their target, the most vulnerable people on Earth, new mothers. Their strategy was nothing short of brilliant and evil. They sent an army of sales representatives into hospitals and maternity wards, often dressed as nurses, to gain instant trust. Their mission: convince new mothers that Nestle's formula was a modern scientific miracle, far healthier than their own primitive breast milk. The masterstroke was the free sample, just enough formula to last a week or two. And that's where the trap was set. For a new mother, if you stop breastfeeding, your milk supply dries up. Within days, those mothers had hungry babies and no natural way to feed them. They were now dependent, forced to buy more. But in poor rural villages, without clean water or sterilized bottles, disaster followed. Mothers were mixing the powder with contaminated river water, and the results were horrifying. Mass outbreaks of diarrhea, malnutrition, dehydration. UNICEF estimated that this single marketing campaign led to the deaths of over 1 million infants every year. Nestle knew, and when the scandal finally broke, it sparked one of the largest consumer boycotts in modern history. But by then, the empire was already built on its first pile of bones. You'd think a company would learn from such a horrific scandal, but you'd be wrong. Nestle's past was built on selling formula. Their present is built on selling water. In the year 2000, Nestle's own CEO, Peter Brabeck, revealed something chilling. He said the idea that water is a basic human right was extreme. To him, water wasn't a right, it was a product. And like any product, it should be owned, controlled, and sold for profit. That wasn't just a quote. It became the foundation of their global empire. Today, Nestle's water division, brands like Perrier and Pure Life, moves into communities across the world. They locate underground water sources, known as aquifers, and make quiet deals with local governments. In Pakistan, they've been accused of draining groundwater for their Pure Life brand, leaving local villages with dry wells and contaminated water. In Michigan, USA, during the Flint water crisis, when people had no clean water, Nestle was still pumping 200 gallons per minute from a nearby source. Their cost? Just $200 a year. They drain the earth dry, seal it in a bottle, and sell it back to us for 1,000 times the price. Nestle hasn't just sold us water, they've privatized the source of life itself.
And if you want the truth unfiltered, hit that subscribe button.
The exploitation doesn't end with what's essential for life. It extends to what we crave for pleasure, luxury, specifically the chocolate in your Kit Kat. Most of the world's cocoa comes from 2 countries in West Africa, Ghana and the Ivory Coast. And behind those sweet bars lies a bitter truth. For decades, investigations have proven that Nestle, along with other chocolate giants, buys cocoa from farms that use child labor, and in the darkest corners, child slavery. Children as young as 10, trafficked from poorer neighboring nations, forced to swing machetes under the burning sun. Long hours, no school, little or no pay. In 2001, Nestle and its partners promised to end child slavery in their supply chains by 2005. They failed. They moved the deadline to 2008, failed again, then 2010, failed again. It is now 2025. The chains are still there. Why? Because ending child slavery would mean paying adult farmers a fair wage, and that would cut into their billions in profit. Nestle's chocolate empire was never just sweet. It was built on the backs of stolen childhoods.
So, is Nestle the world's most evil company? Let's take a moment to look back. A company that built its fortune on a baby formula scandal, one that led to the deaths of infants. A company that believes water is not a human right and drains poor communities dry, only to sell it back to them. A company that, even after decades of promises, still cannot wash the blood and sweat of child slavery from its chocolate supply. Nestle didn't become the world's largest food empire by accident. They became it by mastering one simple formula: exploit the most basic human needs and the most vulnerable people, from the cradle to the well to the chocolate bar in your hand. This isn't just their story, it's ours. Because the real question isn't about their history. The real question is, why do we keep buying it?